welcome to our first ever edition of Around the World Wednesday with Student Programs. I'm Juanjo Marín, and I'm the content coordinator for Operation Smile Student Programs. And I'm so happy to be here with Brady today, passing the smile from LAC to the US. Hey, Brady.
Hi, Juan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm very excited.
Me too. So let's go exactly into our interview. First of all, I want to tell everyone that this will be a series that we are passing the smile around the world. We are starting from LAC to the US, and then you will go next week from the US to Canada. Yeah. So, Brady, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Where do you go to school?
So I am originally from New Jersey, currently up in Rhode Island, attending the University of Rhode Island. I am studying health studies, general public health policy more specifically, with the ultimate goal to attend law school. So I'm actually applying to law schools right now, which is very stressful.
I'm sure it is. And you're also an intern in Operation Smile right now, right?
Yes, so I'm the student programs media intern. So I help you and Bethany with a lot of the tasks that you guys get swamped with, including writing some of the stories that are featured on the blog on the site.
Exactly, and we are so happy to have you.
I'm happy to help.
And tell me about it. How long have you been involved with Operation Smile?
So I've been a student volunteer for 7 years now. I first joined, my first event was ISLC Ireland in 2014. And that was really where my journey with Operation Smile began. I fell in love with the organization over there, and I haven't looked back since.
And now you're even on the lace bag.
Yes, yeah. So we wrote a blog post about the story. So I won't go into too much detail here, but I was reached out to apply, and I was lucky enough to be selected to be put on the lace bag for my contributions and efforts with Operation Smile.
Exactly. And how exactly did you find out about Operation Smile?
So being born with a cleft lip and palate, my first facial surgeon volunteered for Operation Smile. So my parents had always kind of known about it. And then in 2014 in high school, my parents brought ISLC up to my attention, and I was like, that could be something really fun to do. So I went there, and like I said a few times, if anyone has seen me speak at previous ISLCs, that's where I fell in love with the organization, and I knew I wanted to do everything I could to be a part of it and to help the mission of the group. Exactly.
And Bethany told me actually that you started the cleft panel in Ireland, or in which ISLC?
So that was ISLC Italy in Rome in 2017. Yeah. That's one of my fondest memories, just in life in general. I was able to speak as a keynote speaker for that conference, to be able to share my story with some of my surgeries, some of the things that I had to deal with growing up with a facial condition that other people may not acknowledge or understand. And then that year every year at ISLC for the past 3 years, we had lunch conferences for the participants at the conference with cleft conditions. And at that year's lunch conference, when I looked around and I saw that we had more cleft participants than ever before, I was like, it's not right for me to just share my story when there's so many faces in this room alone that have so many different and unique and wonderful and beautiful stories to share of their own. So I asked them if they wanted to join me on stage for a question and answer, and in doing that, they all happily accepted. So I changed my little plan up. I struck it down to bare bones of stories about the surgeries and some of the things that I had to deal with, and then we opened it up to question and answer with the rest of the cleft participants at the conference. And that was unfortunately my last ISLC, but I'm very happy to hear that has continued past my presence there.
Yeah, actually, I was on last year's ISLC, and it was one of the most emotional keynote speakers, the cleft panel.
That makes me really proud.
And what are you currently working with Operation Smile, besides the intern part?
So pretty much right now, I'm just working as an intern. I have about a year off from school at the moment. So once this school semester is done, I'll have graduated from my undergrad. And then my hope is to work in some capacity with Operation Smile for the spring and summer before attending law school.
That's great. And you told us about one of your favorite moments in Operation Smile is the cleft panel, actually. But do you have another moment that it pops in your mind right now?
Oh, definitely. Anytime that I think of Operation Smile, which is quite often, I get thrown back to my mission in 2015 to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. There's a little girl on that mission who had a unilateral cleft lip, and I remember we had her in the child life prep room, and surgeries were backing up a little bit that day because of some issues that were happening on the mission. And so she was in there a little early, and we had been playing with her for a few hours at that point, teaching her how to put on the anesthesia mask, and she was doing really well. But her father started getting a little upset, like, is she not going to get surgery? He was confused. But luckily we were able to take her into surgery. I walked her back, I helped her up onto the table, and she put the mask on just like she was taught. She did so well. I watched as a Swedish surgeon operated on her face, sewing her lip together. It was amazing to watch. And then I helped bring her to the recovery room. I went and I got her father, and I said, you can come and sit with her while she wakes up. And the look on his face when he walked into that room and he saw her lip was sewn together, it'll be with me for the rest of my life. I'll never forget that moment of just pure joy and happiness and just the raw emotion that I felt in that room. I'm
sure that's where everyone falls in love with Operation Smile, I think. That moment is just magical and goes around with you for your entire life.
For sure.
And what's the biggest lesson you learned so far with us?
I think my biggest lesson that I've learned is that no one is too small for any task. If you look at the organization itself, it started with a group of surgeons going to the Philippines and realizing the need. And it has grown from a small group of surgeons to this international operation of I don't even know how many volunteers and employees, and there's students, and there's just so many things. And I think that one person can absolutely make a change, and if you can't do if you can't do exactly what you set out to do, you can always find more people. And I think that Operation Smile has given me that insight into life.
Actually, I think one of the blessings that I have in my life is to be in a country that we actually have missions twice a year, and to be a part of it and see how students impact on life of children and their families is one of the most emotional and more important things that I did in my life.
Absolutely, yeah.
And what Operation Smile means to you right now?
To me, Operation Smile, I think, means that's a tough one, because it means so much. To just kind of summarize it, I think I'm going to say obligation, but I don't want obligation to come out as the wrong way. I think because I was born in the U.S. with a cleft condition, and I was able to get the care that I deserved and the care that so many kids around the world are deserving of and just don't receive, I feel like I have to take what I was given and do anything and everything that I can in order to provide it for other children around the world.
That's beautiful, man. And how has Operation Smile impact in your life?
Operation Smile is probably the reason that I am who I am. In 2014, before I went to ISLC Ireland, I was in a different place in life. I was down on myself. I didn't see my cleft as a positive. I thought only negative of it. I would walk around with my head down. I was nervous to talk to people. And then being there in Ireland, it was the first time in my life that people didn't hold their gaze a little longer than normal, or they didn't say, "Hey, what's wrong with your lip? What's wrong with your nose? What's wrong with your face?" Everyone there knew what was going on. No one cared. No one pried too much, and that feeling of acceptance was really drew me in. And I knew that I had to keep going back just to get a little snippet of that every year. And then ultimately it led to this just acceptance, acknowledgement, and I would just call it overwhelming gratefulness. Honestly, I'm grateful for my cleft. It's made me the compassionate person that I think I am. I wouldn't change anything about myself, and Operation Smile is what gave that to me.
Wow. And to the students that are just joining us and just finding out about Operation Smile right now, what would you tell them?
I would say that you get out of Operation Smile what you put into it. There are so many resources, there's so many opportunities available. It is so much more than just a resume builder. It is a possibility and a reality for so many people to change their lives, and you can be a part of something amazing, something incredible, and you can really put your own personal stamp and mark on that progress and that project.
That's amazing, actually. I think that Operation Smile is something that you have to do in life. Everyone
Absolutely.
has to have the opportunity. And what's next on your Operation Smile journey?
So I think for me, my next step is hopefully working with you guys in some way for the coming spring and the fall, or in the summer instead. And then I'm always going to be around in some way. And once I have my law degree, I'm more than happy to come back and work in the legal department or lend help in any way. But Operation Smile will always be a part of my life, even if it's not clear to me exactly in what way now.
Exactly. I hope the same way for you and for me. I hope that Operation Smile will be a part of my life for a long time right now. Okay, Brady, thank you so much for speaking with us. I can't wait right now to see your next Around the World next week with our friends in Canada. And
I'm very excited.
To everyone who is watching, please like this video and subscribe so you can be aware of the next Around the World episode. Thank you so much.